Can you believe that it's been 100 episodes of Confessions of a Theme Park Worker? Neither can I. I never thought I'd get this far. To help celebrate, I've got 10 of the most popular, most commented on clips, along with a special contest. I am so excited. I can't believe we're hitting 100 episodes of Confessions of a Theme Park Worker. Not to mention all the extras and bonuses and episodes of Park Tales and so much more. And I am so grateful you've been here along the way. We've had laughs and tears and great moments and fun and just a great time. And I'm so happy you've been able to share it with me. Along the way, there have been a number of segments and clips that you, the viewers, have commented on as your favorites and ones that you love to see so much, and I've even been asked to repeat some of them. So what I've done is I've taken a list of great moments submitted by you, the viewers, and I've put it together into the sort of a top 10 most favorite. Now, narrowing it down to 10 was kind of tough, and I have a feeling I'll probably end up having to do a follow-up video with it pretty soon. Not just that, but I've also got a great contest for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that, but I want to thank Pinderella Shop on Facebook for helping to sponsor it. What's also fun as you watch these videos from the past is you're going to see just how far I've come technologically too. The first videos, the video and the sound on them is kind of interesting, and as we gradually move along, you'll be able to see how I've improved my quality of the sound as well as the video. Let's just say I've learned a lot over the course of 100 episodes. So smile, laugh, and enjoy how far we've come as we enjoy these 10 moments from Confessions of a Theme Park Worker. First off, a classic moment from all the way back in episode 7 involving Chip and Dale. Yeah, those two could get into a lot of trouble, but I think in this case they got into a little more than they were bargaining for. But one of the funniest things I ever saw was we had one time we were at the Grand Expo. In our break room in the back of Grand Expo, we would share it with the chipmunks. And like I said, they cause trouble all the time. One of our girls had been having a break and she'd been sitting back there eating with them. She comes back to work and she's about 8 months pregnant. Now, Grand Expo is where we sold the pictures, so we'd have our counters, and the chipmunks, when they were on their way out to meet people, came walking out past our counters and then would go outside. As they're walking past, one of them saw the girl who was pregnant and patted her tummy a little bit as he's walking by. She looks at both of them and say, "Well, hey, you know this is your fault, don't you?" And Chip and Dale both stop and look at her and go, "Us? How did we do it?" And she says, "Well, it is your fault. Just in the back there, you gave me your nuts." And I went, I don't think she had any clue what she said. Now, of course, what she's referring to is chipmunks like to eat nuts, like walnuts and peanuts and things like that. And she meant Chip and Dale had been giving her some walnuts and peanuts to eat at the break room. But that's not what it sounded like. And poor Chip and Dale are just reacting, and they just stop. And one of them falls on the ground laughing. The other one's slapping the table because they can't make any noise. And a little while later, she realized what she said and just went, "Oh, that's not what I meant." Oh, did we have fun giving her a bad time that her baby was going to be half chipmunk. So that should just tell you, keep your nuts to yourself. I don't share mine. I love pistachios. Next up is one of my fondest, most special memories of my time working at Toontown over at Walt Disney World. It was a great moment where the characters all came together and created something really special, and I'm going to give you a heads up. You might want to have a hanky ready for this one. I will never forget. We had one time I'd come into Toontown. It was a slower day, which was very unusual, and a Make-A-Wish family came up. And we started getting word before they arrived at us that, hey, get ready, we're going to put Toontown on pause for a little bit for this family coming in, because this girl is really sick. And they happened to choose our room, opened up the door, and this family came in, and this girl came in. She was probably somewhere 10, 11, maybe 12. And she is in a bed chair. They've got the IVs hooked up on her, and she's definitely not doing well. Suffering with cancer, I would guess, but I don't really remember. As they brought her in, they closed down the other two Toontown rooms. And so she didn't just get 3 characters. They brought in everybody. And so this girl got time with Minnie, with Donald, with Pluto, with Goofy, with Chip and Dale, and then all three princesses came in, Aurora, Belle, Cinderella, and they just spent time loving on this girl. A couple of the photographers were busy taking pictures, and I just got to kind of step back out of the way and watch. I don't think there was a dry eye in that room as they loved on this little girl who was obviously so very sick. We took care of her. They got the great pictures. They handed them their PhotoPass cards so they could look at the pictures later, and off they went out to wherever they were going next. After that, we reopened the rooms and continued right on with our day and back to meeting all the guests. I remember coming back from break a few hours later. As I came back, I was walking out of our break room, and I made a right turn where our base was, where we picked up our equipment and checked in to see where we were going to be going next. And I looked over, and my equipment manager was crying. Made me pause, wait a minute. What's wrong? Why are you crying? And she looked at me and says, you remember that little girl that came in? Yeah, the one that was sick? She's gone. In just that matter of time, since she had met those characters, she passed away. And it hurt. There were a lot of us crying that day, a lot of cast members upset. But at the same time, we knew that we had made one of this little girl's last memory, one of all these characters loving on her. We were able to help put a smile on her face and some joy in her life before she went on. Okay. I'm going to get it together. That still brings tears to my eyes every time I see it. So let's shift gears a little bit. Let's head over to Silver Dollar City, where working on the train was never a dull moment, and unexpected things would happen at it. Like these two clips here from episodes 26 and 24 about an unexpected moment on the train, as well as a great prank that we played. But probably the most dramatic blunder that I had happened to me when I was conducting one day. The conductors actually carry real 20-gauge shotguns. They're not toys, they're not props, they're real shotguns. Where the conductor sits in the back, he's got a seat, and then he's got a clip that he would actually lock his gun into that would hold it while they were riding on the train. So he wasn't holding the gun, wouldn't have to worry about it. As I'm going out from the station one time, we were approaching Fire in the Hole, and all of a sudden I hear this kablang, boom! What on earth? Looked around. It sounded like something hit the top of my car, and I thought branch fell off or something else had happened, and I'm looking around. I don't see anything. Everything looks good. Okay, we keep on going. As we come out close to the show, I reach over to grab the gun to get ready, and I realize the gun's not there. Apparently, the gun clip broke, and it fell off onto the tracks over by Fire in the Hole, where there's people. I immediately grabbed my radio that we have in the back, let them know as well as I could what had happened. I dropped something rather important off the back of the train that you might want to go fetch because it's not loaded. And you're trying not to say what it is because the radios can be heard by other people in the park. It kind of set off a little bit of a panic among people when they realized what had happened. There's a gun, real gun, out on the railroad tracks. Go get it! So the maintenance guys are heading off to try to catch that and track it down in a hurry before anything else happens. And I'm facing the prospect, I've got to walk up into this train robbery show and face off two train robbers. I don't have a gun. The gun is probably the most important thing that the conductor has, because it's what he uses to scare and intimidate the robbers. And I have no gun. And I'm in a panic because I'm worrying about where my gun is on the tracks and that nobody else has found it. And how am I going to face these robbers? What are you doing stopping my train? Having fun? What are you going to do about it? I had a lot of dramatic posing. Look, you, I'm not real pleased with you, and if you don't stop, I'll do something. I'll point at you. Because there's nothing else I can do. I've got no gun to threaten to shoot them. I'm usually one of the bigger pranksters and goofs out there. And here I am completely at the robber's mercy. And I know it as soon as I hop off the train. I think I would have felt more comfortable walking up that hill with no clothes on than without that gun. Because I felt so naked and so ready to be victimized. And my robbers were kind to me. They were so gentle. We got through the first part of the show with me kind of yelling at them and posing. I went off to go look up in the woods, and I came back, caught them robbing the train, put on my big bluster. I come back and here I find you robbing my train. Oh yeah? What are you gonna do about it? And Ralphie actually slips me his gun. Alf turns to Ralphie. What did you do that for? I felt sorry for him. And so I finished the last part of the show with Ralphie's gun, set it down on the ground as I got back on the train so he would have it later, and headed off back into the station. Thankfully, our maintenance guys found the gun before anything else had happened. And nothing bad happened, except probably the most awkward show I have ever had to do in my life. It was an amusing moment. It's something I laugh about now, but oh, it could have gone so wrong. Devin, like I said, that first year had been having a great time. He picked everything up quick, and he was ad-libbing, and he was joking, and he was messing us up on purpose, and Devin was having a lot of fun, creating all sorts of laughs. We had so much fun with him, but we decided at the end of the year, okay, it's time to give Devin a really good taste of his own medicine. We're going to get him, and we're going to get him good. And so we started plotting as a group. I don't remember whose idea it was originally. I think it was one of the guys that had been there for a while. And basically what happened was, over a course of a couple weeks, anytime I was robbing and Devin was around, if I was Alf, I got in the habit that when I finished robbing the back end of the train, I would hop up on the conductor seat and just sit there until it was time for Alfie to come back up and save Ralphie from the conductor who's really mad at him. And so over the course of a couple weeks, Devin got used to me doing that. Finally, it came the day we were in the middle of Moonlight Madness. Moonlight Madness was always interesting, because with the late night hours at the park, we would really get crazy and goofy. We would lead the train in cheers and go back and forth and do all sorts of crazy stuff. We would actually have 3 robbers out in the shack, so that way we could rotate breaks and you wouldn't have anybody get too exhausted. One of our fun little pranks during Moonlight Madness was for the conductor to show up, and there would be Alfie and Ralphie and Ralphie. 2 different Ralphies. And we did that a couple of times. Devin comes out on the train one time as a conductor, and I'm out there as Alfie, and then we have 2 different guys as Ralphie bowling. I think this was on Devin's last day actually working with us. And so Devin was thinking that this was our big prank on him, because he picked up that we were going to do something. He's laughing at 2 different Ralphies, figure, okay, no big deal. He goes up, does his part, heads up to the front of the engine. I do my normal Alfie routine I have been doing with him, and I go to the back of the train and hop on the back, and the 2 Ralphies both rob the front of the train. Devin comes back out and he catches both Ralphies and yells at them and chases them up the hill. After the conductor chases Ralph up the hill, one of his lines is kind of the cue for Alfie to come save Ralph. Ralph, do you realize you're about this close to an idiot? And as he delivers that line, both Ralphs, they step over to the side away from him, and one of them yells out to me, Alfie, we're this close to an idiot. As soon as they say that, I grab the microphone on the PA and yell out so everybody on the train can hear, Yup, that's why we're stealing this here train. Ichabod up in the engineer box. Get this train going. And I clear the engineer, and they toot the whistle, and they start hauling that train out as fast as they can get it to start up. Devin's standing up on the hill looking at the train starting to move, looks at the 2 robbers and goes, What? He starts to step down, and a robber comes around each side and grabs him just to make sure nothing dangerous happens. And we take off and we steal his train, leaving him out in the woods with the robbers, completely clueless. What do I do? And I finished the whole second half of the train, where usually the conductor would be narrating. I did the whole rest of it as Alfie Bolin in my silly robber voice. All the way up into the station, let the people off, wave goodbye to him. Yes, we actually stole the train from the conductor. We did come back out the next round. We had another conductor come out, do his show, and we picked Devin up and let him get back on the train and go back up. But we had a great time with that one. Although I think Devin the next year was itching for revenge on all of us. Yeah, I don't think Devin ever saw that coming. We still laugh about it all these years later. It has been such a great time getting to know all my viewers along the way, and somewhere along the way, I started receiving a little bit of mail and people asking if they could send stuff. I'm like, sure, I love getting mail. Mail's awesome. And it has gradually increased where I've gotten more and more viewer mail, and I save every letter that is sent to me. I love every gift. You can see on my shelves all sorts of different things that viewers have sent to me. And it just means so much, because I've never understood why people wanted to write to me. But I'm so excited about it. It's so cool being able to hear from you watching. I've gotten some neat stuff, some incredibly special stuff. But there was one moment where I received something completely unexpected that caught me by surprise. Here's that moment. This came as a Priority Express from Brandon Neely, who actually then sent me a message. He's one of my patrons on Patreon, and wanted to make sure I got this and said, you better open it before you leave. I'm like, okay, I will make sure I do a special live feed to do this. So let's see. So I opened up this envelope and found another envelope. Ooh. Okay, and then this, we've actually got another little envelope here. Oh my goodness. Brendan, thank you! This, folks, is something I have been looking for a long time. I'm trying to see if I can get it focused. There it is. That is the last pin I needed in that set. And I have only seen, I've seen it on eBay for like 60 and 70 bucks. And I'm not going to pay that for a pin. So, Brendan, thank you! I finally got my Canada pin. Yay! What am I most excited for at the moment? For my pin. Thank you so much. Thank you, Brendan. I hope you're watching this now. I'll send you a note too, just in case. Oh, 8 years of trying to get this pin. So, yeah, I definitely did not see that pin coming. And hey, since we're talking about pins, why don't I give you some of the first details in the contest? See, I know a lot of you are like me and you love Disney pins and collecting them, or maybe you want to love them and start collecting. Many of you have joined up with Pinderella Shop on Facebook, which I am so grateful for, and she has been so grateful for so many people who have joined in. So Emily over at Pinderella is sponsoring a contest, and the winner gets a prize pack of a dozen pins. It's got a surprise pack of 5 pins in there, 6 frozen emoji pins with Anna and Elsa, and a limited edition Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party 2017 pin. How cool is that? So how can you win? Well, stay tuned and I'll tell you later on in the video. What's probably been the most favorite parts of the video, the ones I get comments on the most, the one people constantly say they want to see more, are the silly, dumb, clueless, lost, or just plain ridiculous guests that I've had to deal with. Some of them can't help it. Some of them can, but don't desire to. But they're always good for a laugh, especially when you recognize yourself in them. And me, because, yeah, I've done a couple of these myself. So here's 5 clips from some of your favorite silly and dumb theme park guests that you said were your favorites. From episode 2 at Silver Dollar City, here's what we got to do at the train station sometime as conductors. How long is the train? 1 engine and 4 cars. When does it get back? When it's done. When does it leave? When it's ready. When will the train be here? When it gets back. How long does the trip on the train take? 1 time around. Is that a real train? No, it's actually made of cardboard, and we all get on and we make lots of noises and pretend. Excuse me, is this the train? No, sir, this is not the train. This is the depot. That big red thing behind me, that's the train. From episode 4 at Walt Disney World, one of the most well-known questions that people ask. What time is the 3 o'clock parade? Yes, we would really get asked what time is the 3 o'clock parade. I heard that at least once a week, most of the time once a day. Well, sir, at 3 o'clock. Oh, unless you're over at the other end of the park, then it's at 3:15. And yes, people really do ask that. On my recent trip to Walt Disney World, my friend that was with me, we were sitting down to watch the parade, and as we're sitting down, there's a cast member there that's setting up posts to help rope off the parade route, and a guest walks up to him, looks at us, looks everybody around, and says, "So, what time is the 3 o'clock parade at?" And my friend that's with me turns and just kind of looks at me like, "Did she really just ask that?" Yep. Really did. Straight on serious. Yes, it is a real question, and yes, it really gets asked just like that. Not thinking what time does it get here or anything else. They really want to know what time the parade happens. So as much as we might try to excuse it, nope, I'm sorry. It is exactly what it sounds like it is. From there, we head over to episode 45. 5 types of annoying theme park guests and this great know-it-all. But don't be that kind of guest. My wife is in a habit now. My kids are just giving me an elbow when I start. Oh, sorry. Especially when the stuff isn't true. Did you know that Mickey didn't even appear in his first cartoon? No, he was over off on the side of the screen where you couldn't see him, and all you heard was his scream as they killed him. Ah! And then there's this classic from episode 20. This one gets me. I was over in Tomorrowland taking pictures of Stitch, Buzz Lightyear was over by the Carousel of Progress, and off to my right side is the Buzz Lightyear spin and shoot ride. And it happened to be a moderately slow day. The line outside was all empty, but they still had all the chains set up. And this one lady walked into the line, realized she wasn't going the way she wanted, and started stepping out over all the chains. Good cast member working the ride comes out and starts saying, "Ma'am, please don't step over the chains, walk around."
"I'll walk where I want to walk."
We've heard this, and we're kind of looking and watching, and the cast member again says, "Ma'am, please walk around the chains."
"I'll walk where I want to walk."
"Ma'am, if you're not careful, you can trip over the chains." And as this lady is continuing to step over the chains, right as the cast member is saying, "Ma'am, you could possibly trip," the lady catches her foot on the chain as she steps on it, does almost a complete somersault, lands on her arm, and breaks it. We're standing over at Stitch. We kind of looked, kind of snickered. Stitch goes, and we went right back to our jobs, because at that point there wasn't anything we could do. Just made sure we stepped out of the way when first aid arrived to take care of the lady. But two more here from episode 82, a more recent episode, including the story of the most lost, clueless guest who ended up being very belligerent and rude because she couldn't admit how lost and clueless she was. One of the guests most needed help that I have ever encountered.
"How do I get to Harry Potter from here?" "What, you didn't bring your broomstick?" "But doesn't that hog pig train come here? Where do I get that?" "Well, the Hogwarts Express doesn't actually run here right now. It only arrives in the fall and leaves in the spring, and you missed it. I'm sorry."
Then I'd help make it clear that I was joking and say, "It's because it's over at Universal and you're at Disney."
"Okay, so how do I get to Universal?"
"No." Okay, let me state this clearly for those who may still be a little confused. Disney is not Universal. But the one that takes the cake and stands out in my mind is the most ridiculous guest encounter I ever had was one time at Disney's Hollywood Studios when an older lady came walking up to me with a question, very obviously confused.
"Excuse me, can you tell me where can I find the monorail station that will take me from here over to Animal Kingdom? I can't seem to find it."
"I'm sorry, ma'am. There's not a monorail that runs either to this park or to Animal Kingdom. There's bus service or you'll have to take a car over. The bus stations are right outside the..."
"But I don't want the bus. I want to take the monorail. Where's the monorail station over to Animal Kingdom?"
"Okay, but ma'am, there's not a monorail station here or at Animal Kingdom. You can take a bus over to Animal Kingdom. The stations are out..."
"But I want to take the monorail, not the bus."
"Sorry, ma'am, but really the only way to get to Animal Kingdom is either by bus or by car. There's no monorail."
"That's not true. There's a monorail that comes to this park."
"No, ma'am, I'm sorry. There's a monorail over at Magic Kingdom and at Epcot, but you're at Hollywood Studios. We don't have a monorail here. You had to come in either by bus or boat or car."
"Yes, there is. I don't know why you're lying to me about the monorail. There's a monorail that comes here."
"Really, ma'am? I'm sorry. There's not a monorail. The bus you can take, it is right."
"Yes, there is. Stop lying to me."
"But, ma'am, there's not a monorail. You can take the bus."
"I don't want to take the bus. I want to take the monorail. Just tell me where the monorail is."
After 15 minutes of this back and forth and her not listening and understanding what I'm saying, she begins to get really aggravated. And then she pops out with this.
"I can't believe that you're sitting here lying to me like this. I thought you cast members are supposed to be helpful. There is a monorail station here to this park because I rode it here this morning."
At this point, I was just flummoxed and did something I usually wouldn't. I replied back, "You're right. I'm sorry, ma'am. You obviously rode the monorail in here this morning, and as soon as you got off, they started tearing the station down and completely leveled it. It's gone now. You're welcome to go out and look at the pile of rubble if you'd like. In the meantime, you're going to have to take a bus or a car over to Animal Kingdom because it's going to take you more than 15 minutes to get the whole thing rebuilt for you. My mistake." So there's 10 of the most popular moments in my first 100 episodes of Confessions of a Theme Park Worker. I hope you enjoyed them as much as I have and reliving them. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for everybody that has been part of the first 100 episodes. For liking the videos, for sharing the videos, for commenting on the videos, for subscribing to the channel, for my patrons, for their financial support and being able to contribute and help along the way, for the people who've commented on Facebook and Reddit, for the people who've ordered the t-shirts and merchandise, for the people who've emailed me, for the people who gave to the GoFundMe, who allowed me to go to Disney World and help pay medical bills, who've joined in a live stream, or who've been here in some other way. Maybe you're hearing some of that for the first time. Well, there's links in the description to all of that if you want to participate in that, and I hope you do. Honestly, I never imagined so many people would be watching and enjoying my videos, and I am so grateful to everybody who's taken part. You all make me feel like a winner. You know, I kind of want to be able to do that for one of you as well. We talked about the contest with Pinderella, so here's how you enter and win. All you have to do is leave a comment in this video. Tell me what your favorite clip was. Hey, if it's one that wasn't in this video, tell me what it is and maybe we'll put it into another greatest hits video. And what I will do is I will actually go through all of the comments and we will use random.org to pick out one comment, and that will be our winner of the pins. Couple caveats here. One, doing more than one comment is not going to give you more than one entry. It's one entry per person. Even if you make 10 comments, you're still only going to get one entry into the contest. Just so you're aware of that. Also, it is an international contest. We can do this one internationally. So if you're not in the US, we can do this. Your skill test for Canada is being able to leave a coherent comment below that I can understand. If you happen to be in Europe and you're the one that's picked as the winner, I'll even hand deliver the pins to you at Disney Paris at the end of March if you're able to make the meetup. Otherwise, we'll mail it. So when will I announce the winner? I will announce the winner of the pins in my live stream mail call that's going to take place shortly before I go to Europe, just a few days. And that is going to be on Sunday, March 18th at 2:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 3:30 p.m. Eastern, 12:30 p.m. Pacific, and 8:30 p.m. in London. I know it's a different day and a different time than usual, but I want to try and make sure I catch as many comments as I can. So March 18th, 2:30 p.m. Central. The times and everything will be in the description below, but that'll be the live stream where I announce the winner. So hopefully I'll get to see some of you at Disneyland Paris. Good luck on winning. I love to hear your feedback and comments, and happy 100th episode. And park tales and all the other extras. And great moments. And a number of the moments in the videos have stood out as more popular. Oh gosh. Oh my. Ugh. This is terrible. Oh. Okay, this is just terrible. Scratch all of that. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. Excuse me. Ooh. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button right there. If you'd like to see another great video of mine, there's a good one right there for you. And if you'd like to be like these wonderful people and support me on Patreon, hit that link right there. Thanks so much.